Right now, a brand new poll out showing what Americans would do if they could decide the fate of the health care law. 24% say keep the entire law in place. 27% would scrap part of the law requiring all Americans to obtain health insurance if they don't have it. 41% say they would vote to overturn the whole thing. This as the Supreme Court is set to issue its landmark ruling on the law, expected later this month. Let's talk about it all with David Drucker, the Associate Politics Editor for Roll Call. David, roughly 2/3 of Americans hope that the law gets overturned in whole or at least in part. Does that number surprise you?
Not really. The American public has been skeptical of the bill from the get-go. They'd never liked the process that was used to pass it. They thought it was overly partisan and, in a sense, a big backroom deal. And many Americans are skeptical of the mandate. They don't like the idea of the government telling them they have to purchase something, even though there are parts of the law that, in theory, they like and would like to see incorporated into some sort of legislation. So I don't think this is surprising. The numbers have been pretty static, if you will, since polling began on this a couple of years ago.
It may be one of the biggest rulings to come out of the Supreme Court in years, and it led the pollsters to ask people what they think about how the justices make their decisions. 13% said they think they give the cases in front of them complete legal analysis. 76% say they believe that the justices decide their cases based on their personal and political beliefs. That can't be good.
Well, it's not good if the Supreme Court of the United States has a legitimacy problem. I think, though, on balance, over the course of our country's history, the court has generally been respected, and it'll probably emerge from this over the long term as respected. But we've had so much political fighting, public fighting about the court and what a decision might mean and why a justice might make a decision. We've even talked about the idea that a justice who doesn't think the mandate is constitutional would nevertheless not want to overturn it for other reasons. And I think when all of these discussions are in the public sphere, it leads people to wonder about the decision-making process. But I think that the court will be fine over the long term.
Well, 44% of Americans say they approve of the job the Supreme Court is doing. 36% disapproves, but we'll see if that changes after the ruling comes out. Thanks very much. David Drucker from Roll Call.
Good to be here. Thank you.
Well, a solar